Okay, everybody, how you doing? I just like to talk really quickly about this because we are going to do a spin up on this motor sometime tomorrow. It's getting late right now. We know that, okay, first off, this is a 170 millimeter high pass ducted fan engine. For those who don't like me calling it an engine. I'm sorry. I had to. It's being driven by a Flip Sky 6370 190 kilovolt motor running at 48 volts. And it is put through, you can't really see it from here, but it's actually turning a 4-to-1 gear ratio, as you can kind of tell as I turn it. So we're 4-to-1 on the gear ratio. That's going to give me at maximum RPMs on this motor a total of 32,000 to 35,000 RPMs. Because it's 48 times 190 times 4. So, you know, do the math if you want. The ductwork is simply there because I imagine if this is in a plane, without the ductwork itself, it's basically just going to be the turbine housing back there. And I am going to drive this thing from the rear. That's why it looks like that. But for testing purposes, because I have to monitor these gears, it's easier to do it out here with the mount that I already had for the forward drive. Now, the main thing that's going to happen tomorrow is we're testing the viability of nylon 6 for the sun gear and the planetary gears. We know that with the other motor I had, which was an 8318 100 kilovolt, that it had roughly the same torque, if not a little bit more than this one. I don't think it had more than this one. This one's got some torque. It's designed for skateboards and electric scooters, things like that. So we know that when I was running a PETG sun gear inside the planetary gear system, that it would strip out first. It took the brunt of the damage. I don't know how much better the nylon 6 sun gear is going to be. But that being said, if we run it up tomorrow, get to a certain RPM, and we have a failure of the nylon 6, it might be a short run, might be a medium run, might be a long run. I'm going to try and go slow as I run the RPMs up. And we'll monitor the amperage here and the watts. And the idea is, I mean, I know where I feel like the nylon 6 sun gear will fail. It will fail. This is why all the components within here, the ring gear, planetary gear, sun gear, so on and so forth, are going to be printed out of metal. Also, this coupler that I have here, that coupler right there, is just something that was off the shelf. So I don't know how accurate it is as far as, because I tried to tighten both nuts, one through the keyway on the motor shaft, and so on and so forth. So, dogs are going nuts. So, it's huskies for you. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, basically making sure that it doesn't wobble is a priority. And now these are all off the shelf components, so some adjustments may have to be made. I did make some small adjustments to see if I could get a little bit of that wobble out of there. It was very minute, but noticeable, and that could be due to the pressure on the ring gears or the planetary gears, because of the motor's kind of heavy, which is fine because it's going to be supported by a fairly hefty mount here and on the back end, plus the weight's distributed through these arms, which are connected to the outer casing of the actual intake. So tomorrow, this is what we're expecting. It's going to run for a certain amount of time. It's going to run probably for up to a certain point on the RPMs. And then it is eventually, even with the nylon 6, it's going to strip out the sun gear. And that, I think, is going to be the main problem. But we're gonna see what happens and go from there. And tomorrow we will see you and we will spin this thing up. So fingers crossed that everything goes like it's supposed to. And we'll see you then.